preparing to stream. This meeting is being live streamed.
I got that message too.
All right. So we're setting up. It says it's still setting it up. The red tube is almost done. Red line is finished. And you know, the spinning something or other. I think my laptop is getting old. It's been slow lately, like me.
It looks like it's live from here.
It's live. Okay, so here we are. Here's what I got. According to my books, Jason doesn't have anything. Tom and Gilker Harrison have a combo. Hirschberg Harrison have a combo, and then Hirschberg. I have something interesting, not really a new song, which I'll put at the end if I can fit it in. In fact, it's kind of fascinating. We've all been talking about it, and I did it. So let's just leave that as my tease. I think the one that's going to need some help, I mean, because he's asking for it, is Mr. Hirschberg solo song that needs a title. So I'm going to put up the words, and I've offered some titles. That's and he rejected them all. He just threw them all out. He said, "Peter, go home. Go."
They were derivative, Peter. What were they? Never mind.
Rainy Day Women number 14 and 30. You know, this kind of, it was a joke. I didn't seriously mean that he should name it that. But you want to say anything?
Nah. Not till after everyone.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll do the double. Okay, good. I'll put up the words now and share the screen. And let's do it, Mr. Hirschberg. Share. Don't be fooled by the fact that this one is called Atmospheric Turbulence on the screen, but he's obviously doesn't want to use that name. And let's roll it. Tell me if we have any problems here.
I saw her sitting on the hillside, staring at the night sky through the misting rain. I saw a shining light that made me think I loved her once and might again. She said she saw me walking toward her. She told me later that her will was not her own. Mine was the vision of a glowing smile she dreamt but always known. When the stars in the night sky are sparkling, there's something in the air. You can't be sure that what you see is what you're seeing. Or if it's even there. We only lasted for a short time. What we saw shimmer was just an echo of the light, just wind and smoke and ripples clatter in the night. When the stars in the night sky are sparkling, There's something in the air, and you can't be sure that what you see is what you're seeing. Or if it's even there. Swans tied like sailboats in the harbor, drifting this way and that upon the swells. Are they swans or sailboats? How do you tell? When the stars in the night sky are sparkling. There's something in the air, and you can't be sure that what you see is what you're seeing. Or if it's even there.
That's it, I believe.
That's it.
Nice. That's a change.
Change. It's yeah, I love your spacing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean the way I've written it?
Yeah, I like that comma after sparkling. That really no, yeah, the time spacing, I would have my instinct would have been to push things closer, and I think you did it better. I mean, I like your space. I like the spacing. It's a spacey song.
Yeah, it's a nice song. It's a love ballad, nice love ballad. Very nice. Oh, just really breezy.
Welcome, Rick Lysak. Are you there?
Yeah, how you doing?
Hey,
Got no
Rick.
video on you, buddy.
What do I do? Start video. Start video. There we
Want
go.
to see your handsome face?
Okay, there we go.
Well, come on. I don't want to see the halo above it. Let's turn it down so we can see you get a bust, like shoulders and those masculine shoulders and those. There you are. We had a character on one of the shows we were watching, looked just like you. Tough guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, you can hear tough guy on HBO or somewhere.
Yeah.
Welcome. We went through the first, we're going to go twice on song that needs a title. I recommended, the easy way out is like, come on, its title is just a title. Call it I Saw Her Sitting on the Hillside. But the hook, not a hook, but the thing that says all about it is how do you tell? And those are my two serious ones, but they're not great. So David's looking for a title.
I got a suggestion. I got a few, but this is the one that hit me first. Is My Illusion.
My Illusion.
Illusion.
I was thinking along the lines of taking a line from the song like you were, Peter. And one of them was what you said, where is it? How do you tell? But the other one is if it's even there.
Or Clatter in the Night. All of,
Yeah, I picked if it's even there as well. That was one of my choices.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that. Kind of ties to what it's a different way of saying what you said, Victor, I think.
Yeah, but I've got one that I like even better because it's a play on words, and it really, if you think about it, it's real simple, and it's just simply once again.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Does anyone have any other comments before?
I was just going to throw out, my suggestion would have been the one that got away, but that's just kind of who I thought you were about this.
a fisherman's, yeah.
Yeah, right. But anyway.
The one that got away. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, there is one with that title, but that's an interesting thought.
Another one of your songs is
No,
called.
not
The
another one, a Harold Arlen song.
Okay. Oh.
Um, So.
I know.
So Peter, what you said about the space in the song,
Yeah.
it didn't start that way. And that's one of the interesting things about writing when recording.
Yeah.
You know, you sort of flesh the song out a little bit. It was not, there wasn't as much space when the second half of the chorus was different. It was much closer to the first half of the chorus. But once I started recording it, it sort of naturally broke in half. But let me also say that I've been playing it just on guitar lately to see how it sounds, and it goes back to less. You know, the spaces seem longer without the atmospheric stuff.
Yeah.
So when it even gets longer, or do you make it shorter when you play it lately?
Sure, I'm sorry, did I say shorter? I said it seems longer. It's if I keep it the same length, it seems longer, but I play it shorter sometimes. I'm still not sure.
Yeah. Okay.
I like the way it flows in this version of it. I'm not sure I like it without this particular arrangement.
Yeah, I noticed this. I don't know, when it draws attention to itself, that's good or bad, but I noticed the spacing. I was aware of the spacing. I was anticipating words starting sooner, but I like what happened. That's just my like.
What you just said, Peter, there were a few times where I was like, I knew something was coming, but it took a while, and that can be good or bad.
Mhm.
The only place where I thought that it was too long, if you could just scroll down a little bit on that Word document. The last time you say, I guess it's the last time you say, or if it's even there. On that last chorus, there was a really long pause before you said, it's even there. And that one seemed a little too long, but on the other hand, it makes you anticipate. So.
Yeah. Well, are you ready to play it for me to play it again? And now Rick can get the whole thing and we can.
Just say this, it was called atmospheric disturbance because I was reading an article in the New York Times about things that the writer of this article learned in 2022. And one of the things that this writer learned, that what we see as twinkling stars is really the result of something called atmospheric disturbance, which is friction between the air and the ground that is characterized by winds and just sort of turmoil. So so I was thinking, okay, so what can I do with that? Anyway, that's where that title came from. Or that's where the song idea came from.
And you don't like atmospheric because it's just too
don't
technical
know.
and not,
I don't know.
No, yeah, you're right. You're right. It doesn't fit. It's kind
Sounds
of
like a weather song.
Yeah, and it is a weather song.
Yeah.
I don't want it to sound like a weather song.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only time you really get to weather is wind and smoke and misting rain and smoke and ripples. I love swans and sail. I think I did seriously suggest swans and sailboats, swans or swans and sailboats. But yeah, that's one of the one of the nicest pictures, except saw her sitting on the hillside. Yeah.
Well, I wrote these down.
Yeah, David, what I was also going to say too is I like the imagery that you use, particularly at the beginning of the verse. And I think that sticks with you through the other lines. So I think it's really good when you do that. And particularly with the swans tied like sailboats. Like I had that image in my head the whole time you went through that that verse. So.
Since atmospheric turbulence is sparkling stars, sky and sparkling sky. That's really what kicked it off, isn't it? The sparkling sky, the sparkling sky. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and actually there are two things. One is that, and the other is I was walking my dog and I saw these swans in a lake, and I thought they looked like sailboats, sort of tied to the dock. So those two things, it's sort of about what you see.
All right. What you see is what you get. Not what you get. Maybe what you get. Maybe it's not. That's why I did that play on epistemology with he pissed in the mall and OG. Yeah. Yeah. All righty, here we
Yeah,
go.
let's move on.
I saw her sitting on the hillside, staring at the night sky through the misting rain. I saw a shining light that made me think I loved her once and might again. She said she saw me walking toward her. She told me later that her will was not her own. Mine was the vision of a glowing smile she dreamt but always known. When the stars in the night sky are sparkling, there's something in the air. You can't be sure that what you see is what you're seeing. Or if it's even there. We only lasted for a short time. What we saw shimmer was just an echo of the light. Just wind and smoke and ripples clatter in the night. When the stars in the night sky are sparkling, there's something in the air, and you can't be sure that what you see is what you're seeing. Or if it's even there. Swans tied like sailboats in the harbor, drifting this way and that upon the swells. Are they swans or sailboats? How do you tell? When the stars in the night sky are sparkling. There's something in the air, and you can't be sure that what you see is what you're seeing. Or if it's even there.
I noticed this time, and I think it explained it. It's echo of the night, echo of the light. I'm sorry, echo of the light. That's what it is. Echo of the light.
Like that.
Yeah, light is a wave, an echo and Doppler effect and all that. And that's what makes it, echo of the light. Kind of sounds. This
Mhm.
time through sounded good for me. But
Okay.
An
I'd
even
add that to
night.
my list, huh?
I said, an even night is the absence of light. Absence of light. So it's like it ties into a lot of aspects of the song.
Mhm.
Light, yeah.
And then, I did want to say, after Tom had mentioned it, I think that the last line, or if it's even there,
Mhm.
does seem like that pause. Well, I don't know if it's just because Tom mentioned it did seem extra long this time.
Well, you know what I
See-
noticed this time around? Well, I guess I noticed it the first time, but what really stood out to me, since you go into like a acapella chorus there, and then it goes completely tacit, the instruments do, in that pause before you say that line. So that's kind of what makes you think, is the song over?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have to admit, I've had that reaction too. And I thought about leaving that last line out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's real easy to take it out because there are no
Right.
instruments there.
Yeah.
Hey, Rick, what do you think? Comments?
Well, I wonder what it would be like if you took the melody up a third on the chorus.
Oh,
Okay.
up a third on the chorus.
It's more like a chorus.
On the chorus, yeah.
It's more like a chorus if you
Uh-huh.
elevate it.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I mean, it's just a thought. I don't know. It's just off the top of my head. I don't know. I don't know the song well enough to know how that would work, but
Interesting.
it
I'll
sort of
play with
makes
that.
it'll make it. It's a more thematic that way, and it's separated from the verses.
Mm.
It just
So-
I don't know. I just
But always known, when stars in the night sky are sparkling, you mean like
yeah,
that?
that's what I mean.
Keep the chords, but bring the melody up a third. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Hmm,
Okay.
Nothing wrong with that.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Nice song, nice song.
Very nice.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
noticed the spacing is not as big as I thought it was in the verses. The spacing you really saved the spacing there
Yeah,
for the chorus, which is, yeah.
Second half of the chorus is where it is.
Mm-hmm.
I could make an intellectual argument for why I did that, but there's no point of it.
Why? You're not talking to any intellectuals, so.
Yeah, no. I mean, just first of all, it worked better with the melody as I was playing it. But this is a sitting around thinking about stuff song. So I was just
Hey.
giving myself some time to think. And you too.
And I wonder if you do take it up a third, I wonder if it will impact sort of the perceived timing of the song too, which could be good or bad. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's funny when I play it just on guitar, I play it faster. I
Yeah.
also play it in a different key.
Yeah.
Up that's in D. I play it in. I haven't decided whether it's E or G, but it's definitely higher.
Yeah. I've noticed that too, because I recently got a baritone guitar. And when I play on it, if I play on the baritone, I can play things slower and it sounds right. Whereas I play on a standard guitar, I naturally go faster. And I think it has something to do with the key, like the lower tones. It's almost like they want more space for the vibrations. I don't know, but it does, it feels, I naturally, because I at first was playing around with, recording both baritone and guitar on top. And I just realized that I was just really going so much faster on the standard guitar. But I realized it's just how I play. It's I play faster on the standard than I do on the baritone.
Let me know what a baritone guitar is. What are is it lower notes?
So the one I have is B to B. Some go A to A. So it's like a fourth, we get lower, which was great. I got it specifically for one song. It was a little bit too out of my range, and by getting the baritone, it worked. And I just felt it plays, things sound different too. Like you play the same song in a baritone, and particularly anything in a minor key just sounds like it has this extra sort of like, I don't know, creepiness to it especially when you hit the low B. It just really rattles, and it sounds more like a bass guitar than an electric.
nice.
So it's been really neat. But anyway, when David mentioned that, I had come to reach the same conclusion myself, that when I play in a lower key, I can play it slower, and when I move something up, it wants to be played faster. So sometimes it can sound slower when you move it up a key.
Yeah, it's funny, because there isn't as much space when I play it in a higher key. I mean, I feel like I don't feel like I should leave as much space when I play it in a higher key, and
Hmm.
it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah,
Very interesting. Not just me then.
yeah, there has to be something there. I don't know what it's called, but I've noticed it myself.
Do you have anything for us, Rick?
Not anything new.
Okay. Well, I think we'll have time this time because we only have two more songs and I have a little something interesting to share. So we got plenty of time if you want to. I'll put you at the end because I kind of let's first of all, you're going to hear some funny songs now. So smile for me and I'll get our, phony picture. No, that's not a smile, Jason. No.
Oh, my daughter caught something and then I caught it. Just getting over it. So-
Okay, here we are. Smile, candid camera. You're on, whatever. There you go. All right.
Shadows in my face. I gotta find a different place to set up, I think.
Yeah, I got some lights on top of my desk. They come in like this, and I turn off the back and blurred it, and I think I finally got a good look.
Yeah,
Rick, Rick looks like he's with the rebels down under somewhere.
I know.
There he is. There's that face. Yeah, Rick's got a great smile. Very,
Doesn't want
very,
to give
very
away his
nice.
location.
But a bum. So let's go to Victor Harrison and David Hirschberg. No, Victor Harrison and Tom Gilker came up with something called golf is a 4-letter word. And that's when I should have took the picture. Yeah. Come on, golf. Why isn't, it's document. Oh, it's word. Ugh.
Oh, you can't do that?
No, it's fine. I can use it. It's taken a while.
Oh,
It's just, I don't know what it is. It's my computer in general is slowing down. So now I'm in the market for upgrading and I don't, it's there it is. Completely open. No, not yet. By the way, Microsoft charged me like $70 some. I didn't even ask him to, and I'm trying to get to the bottom of that one.
Did you have that? Maybe as an upgrade, maybe your version of Microsoft Word Office was expired.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. But anyway,
you can only get the Office suite on subscriptions now.
Yeah.
Buy it outright.
Right.
Yeah, I try to stay away from Microslop as much as I can, and it's difficult. Okay, here it comes. Oh my God. I clicked the button 3 times and now it's loading it 3 times.
In the future, if I send you something, should I send it as a PDF?
PDFs are the best right now and MP3s for music, but don't worry about it. I didn't notice that it wasn't a PDF. I just took it looked like a doc and we're good now. We're good. All right. So here we go. I'm sharing the screen and golf and there's your video.
I'll say a couple things about it before you play.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Victor approached me with this concept and it was like kind of perfect timing to do it this month because next month my golf league starts up for a little while. But Victor and I have, through a few conversations we have both experienced the frustration that golf can be, and if any of you guys golf, you know right away what I mean. And so as I was putting things together to present back to Victor, I thought, well, there's other 4-letter words and life and love were 2 that kind of clicked. That's why I came with these other verses, because this is not like the story of my golf life. I mean, at least the part about, you'll see in a second, you guys, but the part about my wife, leaving me over golf and things like that.
No, of course not. No.
Not the case with me, but it just sounds like a good story. So
that would be tragic. She's a lovely woman. Here we go.
I stood there scoping out the fairway, pulled a club, then teed up my ball. Fade into a tree, then the next shot to left. How many more gaffes?
It stopped.
We lost audio.
We lost your whole audio because
Yeah,
you, it looks like you're muted.
Go.
I mean, from, there you go. Now we heard.
All right. So what's going on here? So it was playing and it stopped, right?
Right.
yeah.
I don't know what to tell. I didn't do anything. Well, let's roll it again and see if it.
Connection thing, Peter, because I saw your mouth moving, but we weren't hearing you. And then suddenly we heard you again. So maybe just a stalled connection or something.
If I mute myself, does that kill the music? I wonder.
I don't know that.
Well, let's try again. All right. Oh, that's awful.
I stood there scoping out the fairway, pulled a club, then teed up my ball. Fade into a tree, then the next shot to left. How many more gaffes till I reach that damn hole? What Feinstein called a good walk spoiled. It takes too long and defines the absurd. Why do I come back each week for this frustration? Golf is a four-letter word. After my round, I head to our house, where you greet me with a scowl. What's this about? You stand there in your almost see-through blouse and tell me I don't think this is gonna work out. She says you spend too much time on that damn course. You come home late and your words are all slurred. You may not have noticed, but I want a divorce. She says love is a four-letter word. Now I'm on my own, got plenty of time. I could work on my game, just takes practice, I've heard. Hell, I'm all alone when I could be in my prime. Life, that's a four-letter word. Think I know what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I know where to go. It's off to the course in my free time to hang out with my buddies, you know. I'll hook and fade that damn little ball. I'll chip and putt and I'll cuss a lot. My game sure better improve for what I spent on this new club I got. What Feinstein called a good walk spoiled. It takes too long and defines the absurd. But I come back each week to get frustrated. Yeah, golf, it's a four-letter word.
Funny. It's John Prine like, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Got a little bit of a Jimmy Buffett feel to it.
Totally does.
Okay. All right. Who's Feinstein?
In here, Tom.
Tom, I think you're muted.
Okay.
No. Oh, I know what might be happening.
I was muted, sorry. Yeah, Feinstein he's a sports writer, and he wrote a book called A Good Walk Spoiled. It was about, I think it was about like, what they call it, trying to get on the tour. I think they call it Q school when you're trying to qualify for the tour, for the PGA Tour. So that isn't really completely relevant to this situation, but it's a good line for what golf is.
You know, does anybody know, did that line come, maybe he used it the title of his book, did that line come from somebody else?
It very well may have, because I think I've heard people refer to golf.
As a four-
Is it good?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a book out called Golf is a Four-Letter Word.
Oh, there's golf is a four-letter word?
Yeah,
Okay. I mean, I think the Feinstein line might work better if it turned out to, if everybody recognized that, I don't know, somebody, depends
A
on,
lot of people thought that Mark Twain said it, and Mark Twain didn't say it.
didn't say it, what Mark Twain, yeah, see, if you said Mark Twain called it, then I might even feel better, but yeah, because if it might be better, the line might be better if it's somebody we know said that.
Or it's been called.
Yeah, or it's been
Keep it more
called, good
vague,
one,
yeah.
yeah. Feinstein, I mean, unless you're really in it and people are gonna, that's fine, but yeah.
I think probably good input, because I happen to have the book sitting on my. A lot of people might not know who Feinstein is.
I didn't know who it was. I didn't know who it was.
You said just to call it, it's been called, or in that line, not to call
Or
it.
what's been called? Yeah, you could just take out the Feinstein called and say what's been called. Yeah.
Yeah, a good walks, right.
A good walk spoiled, yeah.
Because I think that's right, because I found myself wondering who's Feinstein. Is that the guy you're golfing with, or I didn't know.
Diane Feinstein.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Feinstein.
So my thought, if Feinstein makes that line much longer than it needs to be, and if you take it out and say what's been called, it also sort of draws my attention to the fact that you could probably take out, restructure some of the other lines that are long. A lot of these, there's a lot of words in here.
Yeah.
It may not need all the words.
Yeah, it's less when you get this, a lot of songs today, especially young kids are writing what I call conversational songs. The lines are just talking and they become less lyrical. And I don't know if that's a trend that we should embrace or not. So you're right. When the line gets longer, it becomes conversational and less lyrical, if you know what I mean by lyrical, belongs, and it's poetic, belongs in a song. That's my only comment.
Yeah, I think, because in here, I agree. I think you could distill these down and just get a little bit more punch on there with each one. Because I do hear this like Jimmy Buffett's a great example of like who I think I could hear like that song when he played, like particularly at an outside bar in the summer, in the evening. I guess it'd be a great song for that. And I think what you could do is you've got all the right elements. You don't need to change anything. Just kind of shave off those little words here and there. And I think it's going to just have a little bit more punch, be just a little bit easier to sing. And from the audience perspective, I think you'll absorb it easier and faster.
Right.
I think that's really good input. And that's something that I think I have kind of a problem with, because I'm probably just not that poetic, But I also would like to know what everybody thinks of the melody, because I thought it was really a simple melody, but I don't know.
Yeah, I had thoughts as when Jason was talking about punch. If you could, it could have a chunk. It could have a drive to it, because there's a little bit of anger in there. But damn, if there was some kick in there a little bit. Fuck, golf's a 4-letter word. But no, he wouldn't want to do that. But
Victor, fuck was one of the 4-letter words that we were thinking about, wasn't it?
of course, that's the key 4-letter word.
All the profanity. That's why it's 4-letter.
That's why you don't have to say it, but
All right.
There's another golfer's joke that you say, do you know why they call it golf? No, why? Because fuck was already taken.
That's right.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, you know, I think Tom did a really good job with the, you know, structuring the song into something that was a little more interesting and just, part of the reason why I wanted to work with Tom on this, because over these couple of years we've been doing this, you know, I know he's a big John Prine fan. I thought this would be a great subject for kind of a, you know, little parody, John Prine style parody. And, you know, and that was kind of the concept. And then he expanded on it and made it more lyrical and melodic and catchy, I think. And I agree with you. I think we already did work on quite the lyrics to try to, you know,
Okay.
to tighten them up but there's probably still some more room to be able to do that.
Yeah, I think that more room.
You want to play it again, Tom? You want for more?
One more comment. So
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think the melody is nice. And I think actually the only place that you really might think about cutting, that you really need to cut down, because you're telling the story, and most of it is in the choruses. And that, I think, again, I think the word that Jason used, punch, is really good, because it would really highlight the melody there, which I think is the strongest part of the melody. So.
Okay.
You know, it's a little, it might, you know, the third, I guess the third stanza, when I get home, my wife's at the door. She greets me with a scowl, saying, "What's this all about?" She stands there in an almost see-through blouse and tells me, "I don't think this is going to work out." I mean, the way it's written, it's like you're talking to her. You know, and it's
Oh yeah.
Right.
So
Oh right.
the pronouns kind of get a little messy.
Yeah, because then in the chorus following that, I talk about her in the second person, I guess, instead of talking to her.
Third person. Yeah.
He says you spend too much at that damn course. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that should be. Yeah, that needs to be cleaned up.
And actually, Victor kind of presented that to me, and I used some of what you did, and then just because it seemed like it felt better the way I did it. But you know, you make a good point. It's a little, you know.
Yeah, you switch persons on us. All right. Should we do it again? You want to hear it again? Okay. And this time, yeah, feel it again. See what happens.
I stood there scoping out the fairway, pulled a club and teed up my ball, fade into a tree, then the next shot to left. How many more gaffes till I reach that damn hole? What Feinstein called a good walk spoiled, it takes too long and defines the absurd. Why do I come back each week for this frustration? Golf is a 4-letter word. After my round, I head to our house, where you greet me with a scowl. What's this about? You stand there in your almost see-through blouse and tell me I don't think this is gonna work out. She says you spend too much time on that damn course. You come home late and your words are all slurred. You may not have noticed, but I want a divorce. She says love is a 4-letter word. Now I'm on my own, got plenty of time.
I could work on my game, just takes practice, I've heard. Hell, I'm all alone when I could be in my prime. Life, that's a four-letter word. Think I know what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I know where to go. It's off to the course in my free time to hang out with my buddies, you know. I'll hook and fade that damn little ball. I'll chip and putt and I'll cuss a lot. My game sure better improve for what I spent on this new club I got. What Feinstein called a good walk spoil, it takes too long and defines the absurd. But I come back each week to get frustrated. Yeah, golf, it's a four-letter word.
I can get specific now. I would go and take out every word that you can get rid of. And, it takes too long and defines the absurd. That to me, just pretend like I'm talking. I'm being, this is supposed to be constructive, but this is what I would do. Takes too long and something coarse in there, something harsh. It takes too long and it's fucking absurd. It takes too long and damn, it's absurd. It defines the absurd. That kind of thing to me, it weakens it when you lose your rhyme to hang out with my buddies, I don't know about that. Just takes practice, I've heard. I could work on my game. Takes practice, I've heard, to just, those, any little word in there, and her saying you may not have noticed, she could get a little coarser too. You spend too much time on that damn course good. You come home late, words are all slurred. You know what, buddy? I want a divorce. That's the kind of thing that just make this a little tougher. And that's what I'm sticking to it. And that's take it or leave it. That may be a little too pushy on my part, but that's kind of the way I think you'd chop it up.
That's why we're here, isn't it?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd agree with that. And I noticed, like, for instance, when you have like each week in the first course there, why do I come back each week? That's hard. It's a mouthful. It's kind of hard to fit in there.
Each
and
week.
week is a hard one, I think, too. Trimming those things out. And like Peter said, like, no, I'm on my own. You could just say on my own and you forget the now and I'm. But again, the second time listening to it, I love the concept of it. And I think you have like, it's just kind of like fine tuning these details. Like, I guess when I think about writing a song, you got the music, then you've got the concept, and you got to lay out that concept down by a verse and chorus and bridge, etc. You've got all that concept like done. Don't change that. I think it's just kind of like the fine tuning, work these little things out. And I think it's going to just have more punch the less you because I find myself struggling to hear all those words that you're saying. And I think it breaks it on some of those things. And like when you add things like all slurred, I'm not sure that's any better than your words are slurred. And so some of those like kind of words that I think just don't really add anything, just cut it. So I agree with Peter, but I really like the song, and the more I hear it, the more I like it. And
you're a woodworker, Tom. So this is what's like sanding. Just keep sanding smooth.
Yeah. And I agree with everything you're saying. I think it's really
okay. All right, good. That's good.
I like your, I think you put your finger on it, Peter, when you went to that defines the absurd. Two reasons. One is it's a mouthful, but it is much more objective than, and even tempered than you're trying to convey. And so
yes, I get what you mean.
So I think that was a really good call.
Yeah, keep your voice throughout. Keep a certain kind of a voice throughout.
Yeah, and I would agree that John Prine is the guitar intro and Jimmy Buffett is the other inspiration. But the guitar just sounds like John Prine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think too, you could even have a fun video with just some like homemade golf videos of you just shanking it, or just getting frustrated on the course. It could be really funny. But I really like the song, and
It would
I do
be,
too.
well done.
it'd be easy to get those videos.
Yeah. First take, all the way. Yeah.
Yeah, what about the see-through blouse?
Yeah. Well, maybe we don't recreate every line, but yeah, I'm sure you could have some fun with it. But it's a great song and really well done.
Yeah, good. All right, we can move on. That's great. Here,
Thank you.
I-
Good suggestions. Tom,
Okay.
I'll take a stab at, editing a little bit, calling it down and, we can compare notes.
Okay, that sounds good, Victor. Thanks.
Okay.
good
Thank you.
plan.
It was fun. That was a fun project.
Yeah.
Different. It was different.
I'm getting up the lyrics to Roscoe the Human Mannequin. Victor Harrison, David Hirschberg combo. Sorry. Somebody have a comment? Do you guys want to say anything about it?
Oh, let's play
Before-
it. Let's
Let's play it one time and then
I've
talk
got one
about it.
thing to say. Compared to the first song, you think that one had spacing?
It's getting spacier. Should we wait for Tom?
Yeah, wait for Tom. I
Wait
think
for
he'd like to
Tom. Yeah. Yeah.
It was like
we-
watching paint dry.
hear.
Yeah. I'll wait, but I love the take. I mean, I love the approach you took. Tom Gilker, get your ass in here. He left the audio on.
He wanted to play with his putter.
He gets a hole in one. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Boom, boom, boom.
But I love that song because I could see anyone who plays like at a country club bar, that would be
mhm.
a home run.
Yeah, tighten it up and
Yeah.
That's why I always thought it was a good concept for a song.
oh, it
Yeah.
is. It
I was
is.
just
It
looking
is.
for the right opportunity to try
Very
to try it out.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. We've got the words up. Oh, I didn't share it yet. Here come the words to Roscoe the Human Mannequin. And here comes the audio. Hope it stays.
There it is.
Meet Roscoe the human mannequin, a chap who is unique. His movements are enchanting. He'll never blink or speak. Birthplace is unknown. He always works alone. See Roscoe the human mannequin perform each day at 3. A fixture in the French Quarter, considered a must see. None like him around. He never makes a sound. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. Ear to the ground. He never makes a sound. Roscoe the human mannequin. He always works alone, ear down to the ground. He never makes a he's here, he's there, he's everywhere. Meet Roscoe the human makes us.
And you left it off on that one, huh?
Nice. So is this part of the, like with Lafif's Revenge, or what was it, the last month? Yeah,
Satchma's Wake, yeah.
yeah.
So
Wonderful, wonderful. Oh yeah, even in that context, even better. Yep.
So Roscoe is a key character in the play, and he's basically the eyes and ears of the heroine and the hero, and the forces of good fighting the forces of evil in the French Quarter, the people that are trying to prevent the revitalization of New Orleans after Katrina. So what he does, he's basically, he's there every day, but he's basically invisible because he's just, nobody pays really attention to him unless they really want to. So he often parks himself in this store that's basically been, destroyed, ransacked, and he's there and he's watching everything that goes on. And he and this other character, Tappity, who's this little Afro-American boy, grew up in the French Quarter, who's a tap dancer, basically, and a kind of a, rap dancer, tap dancer, whatever it is. And they communicate because Tappity, they have a Morse code. So when the cops are coming or when something's happening, Tappity can communicate to Roscoe. And then Roscoe basically keeps an eye out for things, and they get together and they communicate. So Roscoe is kind of like, a pivotal character in the show. And David captured the character as good as you possibly can imagine, because he basically moves, but you can't see him move. He moves so slowly. I don't know if you've ever seen a human mannequin, but that's I don't know if that makes sense, but that's how the story works. That's the role he plays.
Brilliant.
So, it's funny, he moves slowly, but not liquidly, it's kind of, these guys are, there's something unnatural about the slowness of the movement, so you have the slowness of the movement, but it doesn't seem real.
I want to give you go ahead.
So it's a very theatrical piece. So, and what's happening on the music, you can tell there's Tappity, he's kind of running around, sweeping, cleaning around, and he's dancing around with a broom and a little, dustpan. And it's very circus oriented, but it's also the two of them have this relationship, and it's kind of a pas de deux. In limbo, on the center of the stage. So it's pretty dramatic. And the music really, works perfectly for it.
Yeah, I want to give you credit for a fixture in the French Quarter. You know, one of my pet peeves in lyrics is getting the accents wrong. Especially it happens when a word is has a tion on it or an ate. They didn't have. I can't think of an example right now, but they do the wrong accent to fit the meter of the song, and so you could have gone a fixture in the French Quarter, but beautiful fixture in the French Quarter. You did it right, and I really appreciate that. I think if anybody come up with well, if you know, for instance, if somebody were trying to write enchanting, the movements are enchanting, you know, to make it fit the meter, that would be just awful to me. And the temptation you were led is sucked into it. The lyric wants to suck you into French Quarter, but you didn't do it. Very good. Kudos.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that bassoon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a fart. It was like a fart, you know?
Yeah.
It was great.
That's wonderful.
It's such a comical, and it's just a masterpiece. I mean, I tell you, not what I did, but what David did with the arrangement, and the music, and the timing, and the phrasing. I mean, he took it and he dramatized it and orchestrated it and arranged it perfectly.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, could you see sitting in the theater watching that, listening to that?
Yeah.
I mean, what a showstopper.
David, what was that band you had, the bar mitzvah? Something it had the word circus in it.
Circus and bar mitzvah.
Yeah, you really know circus. This is yeah, exactly. Rick, what do you think?
Well, I'd be interested in how it's paired with a visual in the play and how it would work like that. Just listening to it, it's a little difficult at times, but it's I think the melody and the lyrics and everything all work really nicely. I like that, but the way it's spaced is a little strange. But if it's with a visual, with a mannequin, it should be really nice.
Wouldn't work on top 40 radio. It wouldn't work on top 40.
Oh no,
it's too much dead air. No, but
Yeah,
who cares? It's wonderful.
Something Rick said about it. I think you said it's kind of difficult as you're listening to it.
Yeah.
My first thought, but I wasn't aware of the background of this either. But we talked about how you put those pauses in the last song, and it seemed like that was almost overdone in this song. But then realizing, like when you were talking about how slow the movements are of this human mannequin, it would seem that's why you did that. But at the first listen, I had that same feeling that it was a little overdone on the pauses. Is how it felt to me. I don't know if that's what you meant, Rick, when you said it was.
Yeah. Yeah, but it would. I guess it would probably. You do something like this and you throw it up against the wall and see how it feels and how people respond to it, before you perform it for an public, and you see how it feels, and then maybe you'll change that timing and see, because it's just depending so much, on what else is going on. That's
theater piece. It's
I mean, and also there's two characters in this scene. And Roscoe, you've got Roscoe, the human mannequin, who barely moves. He's there, and his eyes are moving, and he's got big eyes, and so his eyes, when all that little stuff goes on that David's playing, his eyes are dancing around. So, and then the other character is this little waif, this French Quarter waif. His name is Tappity, and he's a singer. And these two guys are in cahoots, and so all the time I think that's going on. Tappity is doing these crazy, funny things. So you've got this animated, kind of like frantic little tap dancer, and Roscoe, who's basically standing there, and they have a relationship, and they're both, and so it's very comical. Turns out because of all of the different things that happen, he's doing, he's an amazing dancer. So he's doing this dance while this whole thing is happening to the music. And
Is he-
Roscoe's,
Is he painted a color like some of those mannequins are? You know,
Roscoe-
there's one guy that's all silver I've seen, you know.
yeah, I mean, I don't really have necessarily a specific image. I mean,
Yeah.
he could be white faced, he could be have silver
Yeah.
face. It really, I mean, it would really be up to the stage, you know. I mean, you know, I saw when I was in Florence, France, I saw these human mannequins, and there was one I saw that, you know, right there by the Uffizi. I was just standing at a white face, and he had kind of like a Renaissance kind of a costume on and makeup. And he was, you know, again, moving very slowly and barely able to see his, you know. See
Yeah.
his-
I think this song stands on its own too. I mean, when I listened to it, as soon as I knew it was a mannequin, I just felt that frozen thing, frozen person, and the slow movements, and it worked for me. You want to hear it again?
You guys, I gotta go. I forgot
Oh.
about this and I got all busy today and I haven't eaten any dinner. So
Yeah.
I think I'm kind of crashing. So
Okay.
hey, I'll listen to it on when you throw it up.
Yeah,
there.
YouTube. It'll be on YouTube. Yeah, good.
Guys,
I mean,
if you
it'll be
guys-
on
Or you
I
recording.
didn't want to miss
Reply-
seeing you guys again. I'm sorry I missed last month, but I just wanted to say hello and I enjoyed what I heard.
Good to see you, Rick.
Thanks
Good
for-
to see you,
All right,
Rick.
Take care, you guys.
Play again.
Yeah, and I will say though, I think echoing what someone else said, I really like the melody that it's kind of haunting and those steps down. I really like that. It gives it a good, it makes it feel like what you're singing about.
Yeah, it keeps decelerating.
I get creepy clown vibes from
Yeah,
it.
right. Yeah, definitely sounds like circus music.
And that's kind of the way I feel about mannequins.
Me too, yeah.
There's
Man,
something just really unnatural about them.
Mhm.
you don't want to be at my house. And my wife used to work, just real quickly, I'll tell you this. My wife used to work at Macy's. And when they closed the downtown Macy's, she got some stuff from there. Two mannequins, some of what she got. And she loves like dressing them up for parties that we have and stuff. But one night, a buddy of mine was here spending the night and we got pretty well drunk. We go up to our guest room, which is where the mannequins are. And he kind of stumbles in that room and he goes, "No fucking way, I'm sleeping in here."
Yeah, we had a half a mannequin or something. We keep in the bathroom, and parties, people go into the bathroom and freak out that somebody was watching them. All right. Should I put the words up again? I think no, we don't need the words up this time. It's
We can just stare at the screen.
I don't hear anything.
oh,
No, I don't hear anything.
what the heck is going on here?
It's not supposed to, it's an invisible song.
Yeah. We'll watch Peter do his interpretive dance.
This happened once before and
Let me see. Oh, you know what? Because I didn't share, I didn't get to turn the audio on. So I have to share.
Okay.
That's what I do. I have to share Roscoe in order to get the audio, I think. Let's go back to the beginning.
Meet Roscoe the human mannequin, a chap who is unique. His movements are enchanting. He'll never blink or speak. Birthplace is unknown. He always works alone. See Roscoe a fixture in the French Quarter, considered a must see. None like him around. He never makes a sound. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere, ear to the ground. He never makes a sound. Meet Roscoe the human mannequin. He always works alone, ear down to the ground. He never makes a He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. Meet Roscoe the human
Well, I have some observations the second time. The instrumental, absolutely, it's absolutely outstanding. To the contrast there is, and I think the slowness gives you the same creepiness that the mannequin does. You want it to move and it doesn't move. And the song, you want it to move and it doesn't move either, which is wonderful. And now I understand ear to the ground. It bothered me because its ear is down on the ground, but I guess he's the one that's listening.
He's an observer.
Yeah. And your weakest line is, you know what it is. A chap who is unique. That's my only negative. I don't know how to solve it. I don't know how to solve it. It's just a weak line. So there.
Well, I totally agree about the instrumental part, that little piano part. And after you talk more about the song, I can see that little wave dancing around during that. You know, it kind of picks up the tempo and this guy's dancing, and then it goes back to the movements of the mannequin. The thing that I thought about, ear to the ground, you go, he's here, he's there, he's everywhere, ear to the ground. I think that's kind of how it went. And I would probably change the melody ear to the ground.
Okay.
It sounded kind of, because then you go to, he never makes a sound, or however it went. But I would probably do a little bit different melody than repeating that melody of the first line. Just a thought.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. Okay.
As I was listening to this, it's so slow. It just, it reminded me of a cartoon I saw. It must have been like a teenager, two cops like driving along a highway where the speed limit was like 70. And one cop said to the other, "We're going 15. Should we see what they do if we go 10?" So
But, it is an exercise in slow motion, but it works
Mhm.
very well because there is a lot of contrast.
Mhm.
And a little interlude with the piano with the little, it's just, so visual. It's just so visual. If I was somehow to stage this thing, I would think, well, what a great opportunity to really do something special, for the audience. That really would change the whole pace of the show. And, and then, the next thing would be a big explosive song and dance number with, chorus girls and strippers and hookers and God knows what else.
in a see-through blouse, almost see-through blouse.
Yeah,
Bring it on. Bring it on.
yeah.
Going back.
But no,
By
I
the
think
way,
the
ahead.
the context really helped too. I definitely think if you saw it on stage, it lends itself better. It feels slow, I think, when you listen to it. But if you put particularly like some sort of dance piece with it as well and emotion on stage, I think that's what you need.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. The dancing would be, this kid is just spectacular, he's like Bojangles and Fred Astaire. And what he
Yeah.
can do with a broom and a dustpan, or whatever else, what other props he's given.
What Fred
Um,
Astaire with an umbrella. Yeah.
Yeah, with a golf club. You ever see Fred Astaire with a golf club? But,
No.
but in any case, yeah, any prop that a dancer can use, and then the lighting and the special effects. I mean, there's so many things you can do these days. In the
Absolutely.
theater
It's great.
Yeah, and I think that timing would work well too if there was movements to it as well, because it sticks out, it's different, and I think when you have a visual component that would really just kind of be syncopated with the music, I think that's kind of would really grab the audience's attention. So I think that
Yeah, and then the
Work really
music,
well.
the music itself is very, the drum and the farfisa, whatever you were doing there, Dave. I don't, the circus kind of sound. What were you trying to?
It was circus. It was, the melody circus. It's like, it's like the da 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 da. That kind
Right.
of-
Yeah. But the instrumentation was perfect, and the use of the drums there, it's almost a lot of dissonance.
Mhm.
Well, and I will tell you that I was so relieved when I decided to put in that dance part in the middle, that instrumental part in the middle, because
Yep.
I was just like bored out of my mind.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
what masterful little piece of music.
It
Yep.
just needed that change. And then
Oh,
once I
yeah,
got faster, I
absolutely.
had more coffee and went even faster.
Mhm.
Yeah, and again, the bassoon, it's all comical. I mean, it's just very subtle, elusive, comedy.
Mhm. Yeah, and it
Yeah, it
changes
is
in the
great.
right way. Because like you have like the timing, and then when you get to the musical part, it flows a lot better, but I think you need it to. And then it's like the lyrics that kind of start back up the different timing. So I think it works really well. I'd really actually like to see, now I've seen multiple parts of this, like we need to see like the whole production at one point.
Oh, that would be nice, wouldn't
Okay, Victor, get to work.
it?
Yeah,
Here I come, Broadway, here we go.
yeah.
Golf is off the table.
Speaking of lyrics, gentlemen, I went to Chat GPT. I write songs about unsung heroes. I'll keep talking because I'll show you what I hold on a second. Phone, IP, desktop too. I guess you got to see my whole desktop. Oh no. Oh, here. I said to Chat GPT, the line you see at the top, please write a song lyric. You see it? Praising the courageous scientific work of Marie Curie. And below is what I got. This was written by an artificial intelligence machine.
What?
Oh, it's pretty white bread. Wow. You can do better, Peter.
Yeah.
I mean, it is doggerel. I mean, it's
Yeah.
crap, but
Yeah.
look at, I mean, in the heart of science, brilliant mind we don't do that I mean, it's like Stephen Foster types, crap.
That's right.
It's sixth grade. It's got this is what do you call a mixed metaphor here. This week, it broke, I mean, but it's Marie Curie, you blazed a trail, your courage and genius will never fail. I mean, it's laughably
Gal
pedestrian,
Yeah.
but it, I mean, it, I mean, I would never even approach a song like this. The first woman to win a Nobel Prize you received. I mean, this machine does not understand, I guess, what's hip or what's but it knows how to it knows the structure, and it knows how to get things in and make them rhyme. Beautiful example of bad writing, but I'm impressed. And what's it gonna do 10 years from now? Are we in trouble? I don't know.
I would say no. But go ahead, Tom.
And it's got all the facts right.
Yeah.
You know,
I
it
didn't know what
reminds
you
me.
meant when you first said that it was written by AI, but I'm getting that you present that line, the top line,
Yep.
the AI, whatever software.
Please write a song lyric praising. Yeah.
And then it just,
And it did this in about 4 or 5 seconds.
oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Peter,
But-
4 or
I've done-
5 seconds?
But you
Yeah,
can't
oh,
fix
yeah.
it. The problem is you can't fix it.
You can't fix it because
No.
As good as
Yeah.
it's gonna get.
yeah, you can go in and you can say, I mean, when we did, David, we did the Moldy Mary, it was a scene that kind of excites, is why are these people calling her Moldy Mary? But this is none of that. This is like almost like a scientific paper.
Mhm.
I'd give a 6th grader a B+ on this. I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah,
have to- I wanna say
absolutely.
This
Absolutely.
reminds
The
me of
sixth
what I
grade.
used to write when I was in the 6th grade. And I was gonna say that before. But
uh-huh.
that's what it is. There's just nothing there.
Yeah,
There are facts and there's a rhyme and there's a form, but
it fit the form and it made it. Yeah.
What it,
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, Peter, AI is probably younger than a 6th grade. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how long they've been working on it, but
But what I would say is to me, this is very clear. This is like how an engineer would think of a song, number one. Number two, it proves my point that you don't always give what you pay for, but you don't get what you don't pay for. I've also had, I've played around with GPT chat too for lyrics just to see.
yeah.
And I've had very similar experiences where, I think as a songwriter, what you're trying to do is say something without directly saying it, or just
Mhm.
saying it like that way.
Mhm.
And maybe that's just like the human component of it, but it certainly lacks that. It's so factual, so down the middle. And it's like somebody went in and said, here's all the boxes to check. And it did that amazingly fast and terribly. But yeah,
I'm looking for the insight, like what's missing, and it's feeling, of course. But what makes us, why do I've been thinking about pleasure and pain lately, and like, why is it we could be robots and we could work, we would go have sex without pleasure if we were programmed to do it and we just knew we had to do it. But pleasure and pain you can't explain. And I think that's what's genius and creativity is, what makes us read a song and hear a song and That's good. I don't know if it'll ever understand that because it'll never have the pleasure of seeing beauty in words. It'll never have the pain of feeling about bad words. Is it pleasure and pain, or is it soul, or what is it? I don't know. That's my thoughts.
You didn't give it much of a chance. You gave it very minimal
Ah,
instructions. So you told it to do something and it did it. May have been the input from.
Yeah, and nowhere in your statement did you say that they have to be good lyrics. And it has to be a good song. So maybe shame on us for just implying that.
Or should I say, in the style of
Ed Sheeran.
Yip Harburg, in the style of Bob
Yeah.
Dylan, in the style of Iris
Yeah.
DeMent, I'm going to go
So-
after this again.
So
Just say,
Peter,
ask him to do it in the style of Rudyard Kipling.
Well,
I think
that's,
you did that. I think that's
it's
what
all-
this is.
I think it's almost there. I mean, no, it's
Yeah,
not even,
right.
not as
That's
good as
right.
Rudyard Kipling, but
Right.
yeah, I would bring it up a bit. Yeah.
Well, he's
Does
a
it
whole-
understand what beauty is? Can it
Right.
understand what beauty is? I don't know.
It doesn't have any drama. It doesn't have any color in it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And it doesn't rhyme.
It does.
Who's-
Well,
who's
it's
in-
imperfect
Truth and
rhymes.
pursuit
Yeah.
do not rhyme. I would have exhausted a lot more options before
Uh-huh,
I came to that.
uh-huh. Uh-huh.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I think the thing here, where I like GPT chat is not necessarily for write the whole song, but using it more like a thesaurus than kind of a creator of songs, and I think it does a good job of saying what are some rhymes for this word, what are some words that kind of conjure up these sort of feelings, and I found that it listed some interesting adjectives that I maybe wouldn't have found myself, but I've also kind of played around with thinking like, oh, maybe this is a way to do it, and I've tried entering in more things. So could you do another kind of version of this? And I've always felt like it just kind of, I don't know, it just leaves me as a listener to sing like there's something
Sure.
off about it.
Oh,
And it seems like I don't know. So I've had very similar experience, but I have found some uses for it. And I think it's kind of conjuring up those ideas and things like that. But still impressive, the fact that you could just give it that one line and it can create everything. So I appreciate you sharing that.
Jason,
All
have
right.
you used like synonyms and word rhyme searches?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah, you could-
absolutely.
You can
And
put
is
it.
this any better?
I still, I don't know if it's better, to be honest, because it comes up with stuff that's just a lot of garbage. And then,
Mhm.
you spend so much time just going through all these edits. My still go-to is this thesaurus right here, one of these Rogers ones.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if you've seen these, and if you have, you can stop me, but in the back, it has this really cool concept index. And when I get stuck now, I don't really get stuck. I just kind of start working through my process of like, all right, let's start thinking of words and things like that. It just organizes words more sort of by, since it's by concept, you can find sort of like tangential words that may not be a synonym per se, but certainly kind of are in the key of, whatever emotion you're going for. And I found this to be far more useful than anything I found on GPT chat, but sometimes the rhyme thing, it's worth just asking it a question, but I've discounted it pretty heavily in my songwriting. But I also haven't played around with it a ton because I've had a lot of things like Peter, and I had this one song, I just kept asking for different verses and could you approve this, what it's another thing, and I still end up with something that I feel like, shit, just give me a joint and a beer, I'll come up with a whole better song. Might take an hour, but it won't suck, it'll be different, but those are just my thoughts. But I think there's going to be a way that we'll be able to use it at some point in the future.
Yeah.
But I also just question whether engineers can engineer art. I think that's, having worked with a number of data scientists and engineers in my career, while I feel like they're brilliant in some areas, I think a lot of them kind of don't have that sort of artistic ability that I feel like my artist friends have, and it's just those
Yeah,
sort of big misunderstandings and just how you approach anything. And I think there's also a human component in there as well, but it, it's going to be improved, and I think this is
Yep,
we're only
yeah.
seeing the tip of the iceberg now. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's coming.
Peter,
If you-
how
Sorry.
about, well, no, go ahead and say what you said. I just had a thought. Nothing, not that important. Go ahead and say finish what you was going to say.
I was going to go on. I have another thing to show you. My sister was with us for a while. She's gone now. She lived with us for 6 weeks while she sold her house and got an apartment in Lexington. And she's a very sentimental girl. And I wrote a song that she just loves called Fly. And it's it's a sentimental song. And I'm not looking at the value of the song so much, whether you like it or not. What I did is I found on Fiverr, I think, a woman who would animate it for $50. And so here's the song on YouTube, animated. I guess I got to show you Google Chrome. Yeah, this one here. And do you see a YouTube page?
It's coming. It's coming. Here it is. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let me play this and see what you think. $50.
Let me be your storm cloud, rain for all I'm worth, roaring with the thunder, soak your sorry earth. Let me be your river, swollen with debris, feed your awful sadness to the hungry sea. Let me be your hurricanes, raging, screaming, I toss your thieving pirate ships through the frozen sky. I don't wanna see you cry anymore. Let me kiss away your tears. I just wanna see you fly once more, far beyond your darkest fears. Let me be the pillow where you rest your head, raise a cozy canopy just above your bed. Let me be the ceiling over you at night, drive your surly demons ever from your sight. Let me be the watchman in your sleeping skies. I will turn the Milky Way as you close your eyes. I don't want to see you cry anymore. Let me kiss away your tears. I just want to see you fly once more, far beyond your darkest fears. You don't need a refuge, it's no use to hide. Anything you run from follows you inside. You don't need a wonder, miracles are free. You've already shown me more than I can see. You don't need an aeroplane, you can fly alone. Think of all the fantasy you've already flown. I don't wanna see you cry anymore. Let me kiss away your tears. I just wanna see you fly once more, far beyond your darkest fears. I don't wanna see you cry, far beyond the darkness fly. I don't wanna see you cry, far beyond the darkness fly.
Well, she loves it. She
Yeah,
thinks it's the
that's
sweetest
a-
little song.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting topic, Peter, because I'm actually going through the same sort of exercise. I'm going to be putting my music on YouTube here shortly. And
Okay.
I've always been wondering, what do I do? I actually went on Fiverr and I looked at people who did this. So this is interesting to see.
Yeah, I can tell you who she is. Go ahead. I think she's in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
She's in the Middle East. Yeah.
Yeah. So one is, my feedback on it is I generally like having the lyrics on the screen at some point as a listener engages me more. And even though I can,
Yeah.
if you sing well the words really clearly, and I understand it, it actually helps me understand the lyrics better. So I personally like it. I'm not as crazy about like the little drawings on there. I was going to be stronger if it was just the lyrics. Because there's some times when you have things like flying as a bicycle, there's some of those little things that to me personally, I think I'm going to detract a little bit, but it's only a small detraction because I think the overall big game is to have the lyrics on there. And I think she did a good job of like kind of the reveal of them as well. Sometimes I don't know if it's the latency with Zoom and YouTube, but it seemed like some of the words came a little bit later than it would. And I'm just more sensitive to that because I literally was doing that right before this meeting, doing my own timing. So I'm just doing mine on top of my photography, and having the lyrics kind of appear there, and I've been just doing that like nonstop because I think it is better. And I think particularly with YouTube, you got to do something. A still image is not nearly as good.
Yeah.
Any sort of animation's good. And then really just, it's hard because unless you're going to do like a real top end sort of production, I think it's hard to come up with like really good video for a song. Yeah. So I like this. And for $50, I mean, gosh, that's hard to beat. Thanks for sharing that. That's really
that was great.
Yeah.
Great. I thought it flowed very nicely with the visuals were simple, but they were relevant and they didn't get in the way. They weren't distracting, and they enhanced the mood and the message. I think it was a good style for that song, that type of visual approach.
Yeah.
And it
Okay.
just had enough movement to the flow for the counterpoint and the flow of your song and the movement, the animation.
I saw the kind of stuff she does, and I thought, oh, the little line drawings. Yeah, I can wonder what she'd do. And I hired her, and it was nice. It was a very smooth. Actually, she put my name up front, and he had copyright on every page. And I said, no, just throw the copyright at the end and put for Mary on the beginning. And that's what and it's, it suits my sister very well. She's incredibly sentimental, and this, fly, I love you, take care of me. And I kind of wrote it for I think my wife was feeling very depressed around the time or something. Yeah, it's been a while since I wrote it. So I just, I want to see you fly again was just a thought that I had. Yeah.
Great song.
Yeah.
What do you think, David and Tom?
Go ahead, Tom.
I would first say I agree more with Victor. I wasn't really distracted by the drawings. I didn't think that was so bad. You pointed out that one of them, they were on bicycles when they were talking about flying, but that didn't really seem out of place to me.
Yeah.
I think it's a sweet song too. I mean,
Very, very nice.
I really like the song. The animation certainly didn't bother me. I mean, I thought it was kind of nice. I don't know if it's what, well, I don't know if it's what I would want to see for a song I wrote, but
Mhm.
I think it worked really well with that song.
Fingernail Moon she could do. Yeah.
Yeah.
David.
I thought it was interesting. And I would be lying if I said it didn't distract me from the song.
Mhm.
But that's probably because of the way that I interact with visuals. When when I'm listening to music, I get my own visuals. And so this would be true of anything.
Mhm.
It wasn't what I was thinking. And every now and then I go back to it and I say, oh yeah, I could do that. Like I
Mhm.
would take that in. But it didn't, I don't know.
I'd love to talk to her and see what she was thinking. Why the bike? I can see why the bike. You kind of fly on a
Yeah.
bike, and let me be the pillow. She didn't go directly to a bed and a pillow. The man's shoulder was the
Yeah.
pillow, and
Yeah.
and in umbrella was kind of sky. I can see what she's thinking, and we didn't get to talk and chat and exchange ideas. Yeah.
And that's a hell of a deal. $50 for that was
Yeah.
amazing.
Mhm.
Really
Yeah,
is.
I-
And I would just caveat my, my earlier comments with like, overall, I think it's great. And I think it's a really good way as a songwriter to present your work, because
Absolutely.
it does a job of, I mean, obviously the audio does its job, but then you're really kind of, you pay a lot more attention to the lyrics, at least I do. And it really just lets them sink in. So I think it's a great way of doing it. And I think that, like, coming across that, if you just had like a blank screen or just like a still image, I'd go with this hands down over pretty much anything.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I really like the way she used the lyrics. She animated the lyrics, and she threw, the timing of the way she presented the lyrics added to it as well. I mean, that was very visual because that was animated. The lyrics were animated, and they
Kind of
really
flew
good.
in. Yeah.
Yeah, and plus the lyrics are great, and it was nice to see to be able to read the lyrics. And
Mhm.
I thought it was exceptionally good for for what it is, and particularly for what you spent.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
then, go ahead.
David.
I want to say, my subjective way of interacting with this stuff is not the way most people interact.
Okay.
And what I recognized as I was watching it is that I was getting a very specific view,
Mhm.
which
Mhm.
people don't always get when they listen to my songs.
Mhm.
And it's something that sort of brings someone in. It's like it's a way of like shaking hands. May not be the hand you thought you were shaking, but it's grounding in that sense.
Okay. Well, I'm glad. I'm pleased. That's
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
okay. Hey, yeah, I guess it's almost time to go. David is working with Terry. Remember Terry Harwood?
Mhm.
She's writing some kind of a musical, a play like David and Victor. And they're working on, so pretty soon we'll be hearing from him and Terry, I think. So that'd be
Nice.
Oh,
nice.
good. Yeah, I was wondering what happened to her.
Yeah,
And
no,
her-
she's,
and her son.
her son. Yeah.
Yeah, that one piece he showed was great.
That's great.
Yeah. All right, fellas, let's get some girls. We need some girls. We need some women.
It
Yeah.
reminded me of the line from
Oh shit, we're on
you.
YouTube. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Mhm.
Oh fuck. Oh, well.
Yeah. And we wonder why no women join.
You really fixed it there by saying, "Oh fuck."
Yeah.
Yeah, that did it. That did it. All right, guys. Anything else?
Yeah.
No, good. It was good to see you back, Tom. I hope we don't lose you for too
Yeah.
long. Let's get on those, on the course.
Yeah, get in there. Yeah. We
Maybe
haven't heard.
we'll-
Yeah, Jason, we need a song from you pretty soon.
I know. I've
Me
literally
too.
I have I made this decision where I was going to stop writing new stuff until I got my existing stuff
Mhm.
out there.
Mhm.
Because if I didn't do it, I'll just keep writing lyrics and songs.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, I'll be like 90 with like 200 songs, none of them published, that's, so I've been going down this, and then what's funny.
Welcome to
you
the
brought
club.
So it's been like, no joke, that's all I do now is
Yeah.
I'm making, because I was going to put my music on YouTube because I'm in the process. I had to pay taxes yet last month for the business and all that stuff. So I've just said one thing after the other, but
Yep.
I'm making progress. I'm making these videos because on YouTube, I was like, what am I going to do? I'm not going to have just a black screen, and I'm not going to, try to do a video. Like that would be like another year just to try to get some good takes. And so I was trying to go through how do I do it, how to do lyrics. I've been doing it in Photoshop with my photography stuff. But anyway, I
Two strikes against, I'm sorry, 2 strikes against YouTube. They banned 2 of my songs. I think we
Wow.
talked about this once.
yeah.
And I'm really pleased with SoundCloud because I like that presentation better now. It is one image and they can go across it, but you're right. It's one image and it's this, but you can put your lyrics in the below and so on and so forth.
But I think SoundCloud, the expectation isn't to have like the video component, and I think still images on SoundCloud are fine. I still love SoundCloud for that reason, but YouTube, just because you're competing with all these other videos, I feel like you kind of have to,
absolutely.
and I feel like the audience is different. So I've literally been going through this same exercise, and I've been putting together. So I hope, I keep saying next month I'm gonna hopefully share.
No.
Hi, Kathy.
Yeah, he said
I
hi.
can hear him. I can
Oh,
hear
yeah.
him.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, damn it. Yeah. All right, gentlemen and ladies. Anybody else need anything before we sign off, or are we good?
Good.
Okay, amigos.